How you guys doing? Welcome to the channel. I came across a video and when I saw the title, I was just shocked. It talks about Phylicia Rashad exposing someone before Malcolm died. I guess they're trying to say that this is connected to Malcolm's death. So a lot of things on the line. If it has something to do with Malcolm, you know, I'm all in, you know. I cannot confirm any of this stuff is true, but I have to let you guys know what I'm coming across on this internet, and I want to share with you guys. So let's watch it, let's react to it, and see what they're saying, okay? Let's check this out.
Wait, what did Phylicia Rashad just say about Tempestt Bledsoe? And why was it swept under the rug just days before Malcolm Jamal Warner's tragic downfall? Y'all, this ain't just another Cosby Show cast reunion gone awkward. This is a full-blown expose wrapped in betrayal, secrets, and a revelation that's about to shake Black Hollywood to its core. Because behind those family smiles and TV dinners was a storm brewing, and now Phylicia done pulled the Valley LL the way back. Why did you wait until now to speak out? What exactly was Tempestt hiding, and how does it all connect to the final? Minus one of Malcolm Jamal Warner's life, sources say there was tension, jealousy, and even whispered threats in the background for years. And baby, once Phylicia opened her mouth on that secret Zoom call, the entire legacy of the Cosby Show started to crack. So buckle up, because we've got insider emails, private recordings, and leaked text messages from the cast group chat that will make you look at every episode of that show completely differently. This ain't just nostalgia, this is reality turned scandal. And Phylicia Rashad just lit the first match. Let's go back to the beginning. Not the beginning of the Cosby Show, but the moment the picture-perfect facade began to crack. We're talking about a cast that America saw as wholesome, family-centered, and full of laughter, but behind those picture frames on set was a battlefield of egos, resentment, and secrets no one wanted to touch, until now. It all started with a closed-door Zoom reunion organized just months before Malcolm Jamal Warner's death. According to multiple anonymous insiders who may or may not include an unpaid intern at BET and someone's cousin who once catered the NAACP Image Awards, Phylicia Rashad didn't just sip tea during that call, she served it boiling. And who was the main target? Tempestt Bledsoe. Yes, Vanessa Huxtable herself. Now before y'all clutch your pearls and scream not Vanessa. Listen, Phylicia wasn't playing church lady anymore. No ma'am, she straight up called out years of manipulation, covert sabotage, and what she referred to as emotional blackmail behind the scenes, and all fingers pointed directly at Tempestt. Let's rewind to the 90s. Tempestt had just launched her own talk show, The Tempestt Bledsoe Show, and Malcolm had just wrapped up a stint directing episodes on Malcolm and Eddie. According to insiders, Tempestt was allegedly frustrated that Malcolm continued to receive more offers, more attention, and yes, more fanfare. She was America's middle child, always there, but never the focus. And according to one leaked casting email, she blamed Malcolm for stealing the limelight even during table reads. Yep, table reads. Imagine reading Cliff Enders with Rudy and getting side-eyed like you just robbed someone's Emmy. But here's where things get messy, than a Tyler Perry wig room. Phylicia, who had always been seen as the matriarch of the cast, apparently tried to mediate the conflict behind the scenes. Sources say she even organized private therapy sessions for the cast during season 6, trying to heal the emotional disconnection that had been building. But one particular session took a turn when Tempestt allegedly stormed out, accusing Malcolm of manipulating producers to cut her lines in the Thanksgiving episode. Now fast forward to that fateful Zoom call. One source who accidentally left their mic on said Phylicia looked Malcolm directly in the eye and said, "You held this family together when it was falling apart. Don't think we didn't notice the sabotage you endured, who you..." And right after that, Tempestt reportedly turned off her camera. Just poof, gone. No explanation, no exit. Just that little black square that screams guilty or disconnected. And you might think, okay, that's just cast drama. But oh no, this goes deeper. Because shortly after that call, Malcolm reportedly fell into a depressive spiral, according to One close family friend who requested anonymity and also a retweet. He stopped returning phone calls, canceled multiple speaking engagements, and even told his manager he was tired of pretending to be okay. Now, let's pause. Could it be that this long-buried feud, this tension that brewed for decades behind the smiling Huxtable facade, was the final straw? Did this confrontation reopen emotional wounds that never healed? Because if what Phylicia said was true, then the whole world has been watching a decades-long betrayal unfold in plain sight while we were too busy laughing at Cliff's sweaters. And let's not ignore the odd timing. Just 2 weeks after that Zoom call, Malcolm's health reportedly deteriorated rapidly, official reports saying natural causes. But those close to him believed that emotional damage, stress, and years of being gaslit by those closest to him took a toll that no doctor could diagnose. But honey, that ain't even the part that had people texting in all caps. Because right when Phylicia's mic was supposed to go silent, she whispered, yes, whispered, something that another cast member swears was, I should have said something years ago, but I was scared of what she'd do. She being Tempestt. And that's where the real scandal begins, because what exactly was Tempestt Bledsoe doing behind the scenes that had America's TV mom afraid to speak out? What kind of grip did she have over the cast? And is it true that she used her brief stint as a talk show host to gather private information about her co-stars for leverage? One alleged crew member said Tempestt had files, like literal folders. She was obsessed with everyone's contracts and always knew who was getting paid what, even the guest stars. And y'all, don't even get us started on the tape. Oh yes, there's a tape. One that was recorded in 1997, tucked away in a dusty VHS case labeled Vanessa's birthday bloopers, but it ain't no blooper reel, according to sources. That tape allegedly features a heated, off-camera confrontation between Tempestt and Malcolm where she accuses him of ruining her career on purpose. What's on that tape? Where is it now? And why did someone try to sell it to TMZ for $50,000 just days after Malcolm's death? And now, we head into the aftermath, the web of chaos left behind, the suspicious silence from Tempest's camp, and the investigations that may already be underway. But just when you thought the drama had already reached maximum volume, enter the infamous dressing room confession that nobody was supposed to hear. That's right, a backstage bombshell reportedly dropped just days before Malcolm's passing, and the ripple effects are still shaking the foundation of Black TV royalty. According to a former stagehand who worked on the Cosby reunion special that never aired, Phylicia Rashad had a private conversation with a producer that was accidentally picked up on a hot mic. And honey, what she said about Tempestt Bledsoe was enough to make the studio lights flicker. I've tried to protect her all these years, Phylicia allegedly whispered. But you can't shield someone who thrives in the dark. Tempestt, she was never innocent? Wait, what? The same Tempestt who played the quirky, sarcastic Vanessa Huxtable? The one we all thought was the most harmless of the bunch? Well, according to insiders, Phylicia wasn't just spilling tea, she was uncorking a bottle of vintage scandal aged in silence and betrayal. Apparently, there were long-suppressed tensions between Tempestt and Malcolm Jamal Warner that no one dared to talk about, not because they weren't real, but because Phylicia made it her mission to keep the family facade intact. But the veil was slipping. That hot mic picked up more than just regret, it picked up rage. Malcolm warned me. Phylicia reportedly said, he told me Tempestt was going to bring this whole legacy down. He said, and Phylicia, she's talking to the wrong people. She's not loyal, and just like that, everything changed. People started pulling receipts from the Cosby archives, including deleted scenes, interviews, and cast reunions. Twitter detectives noticed how Tempestt always looked off, distant, passive-aggressive, even one viral clip resurfaced from a 2012 talk show appearance where Tempestt was asked about Malcolm and her response, cold as a glacier, "Oh, Malcolm," she laughed dryly. "We haven't really talked in ages. He's always been busy with his ... circles." Circles? Girl, that sounded less like shade and more like a full eclipse, and now we know those circles were likely code for the off-camera conflicts that were bubbling just under the Cosby Show's polished surface. In another twist that has fans clutching their pearls, an alleged audio diary left behind by Malcolm. Yes, a diary was said to contain multiple entries about being pressured to keep quiet and feeling gaslit by a sister he once trusted. While the recording hasn't been verified, the alleged transcript is damning. Here's one of the supposed quotes making rounds on Reddit. "I used to think Phylicia could fix everything. But even she can't control what Tempest's about to do. She's talking to outsiders. She's going to blow this up if anything happens to me. Just know it wasn't random chills, literal chills." Fans and conspiracy theorists alike are calling this the Huxtable Hex, and the idea that Malcolm may have sensed something coming has sent shockwaves across Black Hollywood. Even Raven-Symoné posted a cryptic Instagram story after Malcolm's passing, just a black screen with the words, "Some truths were never meant to be buried." But let's talk about the aftermath. Because while Phylicia may have broken her silence with a trembling voice and hidden tears, Tempestt? Oh, she vanished. Poof, no tweets, no statements, no appearances. Just a ghostly absence that's raising eyebrows from coast to coast. TMZ even claimed that her team refused to confirm her location during the Cosby tribute shoot. Miss Bledsoe is currently focusing on her mental and emotional well-being. Read the official line. Translation, she knew the heat was coming in. She ducked. Meanwhile, the Phylicia backlash was quick and brutal. Some fans accused her of trying to redirect blame to save her own legacy. One now viral thread argued, "This feels like another powerful woman protecting her image while throwing a younger cast member under the bus. If Phylicia knew all along, why wait until now?" But others came to her defense, saying she was finally unburdening herself after years of silent suffering. One supporter posted, "We don't know what Phylicia's carried. Maybe this is her way of mourning by setting the record straight." Let that woman speak. As social media turned into a battleground, more stories emerged. One anonymous crew member even came forward claiming they once saw Malcolm leave a production meeting early because of a fight with Tempestt that left him visibly shaken. The crew member described it as, "The first time I ever saw Theo Huxtable cry off camera. Now, hold your breath because it gets wilder." Apparently, Tempestt had allegedly been shopping around a tell-all book months before Malcolm's passing. A proposal titled "The Price of Family: My Life Beyond the Cosby Curtain" was reportedly sent to multiple publishers under a pseudonym. The book allegedly paints a not-so-flattering picture of certain cast members, and while no one's confirmed it's her, the timing and tone matched too well to ignore. So, now the big question, was Malcolm trying to stop the book? Did Phylicia find out too late? And was Tempest's silence part of a bigger strategy or guilt? The pieces were falling into place, but the full picture was still murky. And just as fans started putting the puzzle together, an anonymous source came forward with one final twist, and just like that, we moved from whispers to war cries. Because by the time this scandal reached its third act, Hollywood's carefully polished mask had shattered, crashing to the floor like a champagne glass at a bed after party. And in the center of it all, a legacy once wrapped in warmth and wisdom, now smeared in suspicion, heartbreak, and betrayal. Yes, folks, the fallout wasn't just real, it was explosive. As news of Phylicia's revelation spread like wildfire, every media outlet from the shadiest gossip blog to primetime cable started tearing into the Cosby legacy like it owed them rent. TMZ went live with the headline, "From TV moms to real-life frenemies, Phylicia spills on Tempest's final days with Malcolm." Meanwhile, The Root dropped an op-ed titled, "When Black Royalty Turns on Itself, and Just When We Thought We Had Reached Peak Drama, Enter Stage Left, Kaisha Night Pulliam. Chilly." Kaisha took to her Instagram stories with a black screen and one sentence in white font, "Y'all don't know half of it." But okay, keep guessing. 1 hour later, she deleted it, but the internet never forgets. Screenshots went viral, hashtags like #TMPSTTgate and #PHYLICIA news started trending. And a messy TikTok theory thread complete with blurry audio clips, dramatized reenactments, and fan-cast movie trailers clocked over 8 million views in 36 hours. But behind the memes and think pieces was a very real shift happening in the public consciousness. Because if Phylicia Rashad, the elegant, graceful matriarch of Black Hollywood, could be harboring that kind of secret, then who else was complicit? And then came the subpoenas. According to our very own anonymous court mole who insists we refer to them only as D, Malcolm Jamal Warner's estate still caught in probate due to questionable paperwork received a legal inquiry from an independent investigative task force. Their interest, a 2017 undisclosed incident that allegedly took place during a private dinner involving Malcolm, Tempestt, and a third party who, according to sources, left the dinner crying, limping, and holding a torn script titled The Cosby Chronicles. Let that sink in. Allegedly, that night was the turning point where Tempestt threatened to go public, finally ready to tell the world what she'd really experienced during her time on set. But someone again, according to Unverified Leaked, misconvinced her to wait, that timing is everything, and that the world wasn't ready for what she knew. Cut to 2024, and Tempestt is gone. Malcolm's death is still raising eyebrows. And now Phylicia has publicly admitted to withholding information that might have altered the course of justice. Now here's where things go full scandal episode. A tech whistleblower named Xerax claims to have retrieved a deleted voice memo from Tempest's iCloud backup dated just 3 days before Malcolm's collapse. The memo, which has not been officially released, is said to contain a final message to a friend that includes phrases like, "I know too much, I stayed quiet too long, and if anything happens to me, don't let them make me out to be crazy." Now, who exactly she was referring to remains unclear. But fans and conspiracy bloggers have zoomed in on everyone from former Cosby Show directors to high-powered entertainment lawyers who supposedly had stakes in keeping certain secrets buried. And here's the kicker, after Phylicia's tell-all moment, she completely vanished from public life. No red carpets, no Oprah interview, not even a shady Instagram like. Her team issued a vague one-liner press release that read, "Ms. Rashad has said her piece." She has no further comments, but behind the scenes, industry insiders claim she's been placed under a voluntary observation hold at a private clinic in Vermont. The reason? Emotional distress, compounded by media harassment. Some say it's a classic damage control move. Others believe she's genuinely unraveling under the weight of the truth she held in for so long. And let's not forget Debbie Allen, Phylicia's sister, who finally broke her silence during a brief interview with Essence, simply saying, "This isn't how we wanted her legacy to shift, but sometimes the truth bends the crown. Y'all, it's messy, it's tragic, and it's revealing all at once." But here's the most heartbreaking layer to this whole saga. Fans who grew up idolizing this cast, who believed in the black excellence it represented, are now left questioning everything. Was it all scripted? Was the unity fake? Were the smiles nothing more than polished veneers covering up decades of pain, resentment, and secrets? And as fans gather online to share clips of Tempest's most heartfelt scenes, her hugs with Claire Huxtable, her side-eye battles with Theo, her shy smile when confronting heartbreak, we're all wondering the same thing. Did she know it would come to this? Because in the final days before her death, those close to her say Tempestt was writing not a script, not a memoir, but a letter to someone she trusted. And while no one has revealed who that person is, speculation is wild. Was it Raven? Phylicia herself? Malcolm? Or was it us, the audience? Because maybe, just maybe, she wanted us to know that behind the sitcom glow, behind the legacy and laughter, there were cracks. And in those cracks were cries no one wanted to hear. And now we hear them loud and clear. So with Phylicia's confession, a legacy is forever changed. The truth is messy, the questions are bigger than ever, and as one blogger so poetically put it, we watched them grow up, but we never saw them break down, and now the breakdown is public, raw, and irreversible. So now we ask the million-dollar question, was Malcolm's death really just a tragic end? Or the final page in a long, painful script of betrayal, silence, and spiritual warfare? Because if what Phylicia just revealed about Tempestt is even half true, we're not just talking about a scandal, we're talking about a Hollywood cover-up. So twisted, it makes the Cosby allegations look like child's play, and let's be real, how many more secrets are locked away in the dressing rooms of America's most beloved sitcom? What else did Phylicia keep quiet all these years? What really went down between Tempestt and Malcolm when the cameras weren't rolling? We want to hear from you. Was Tempestt Bledsoe unfairly painted as the villain, or did Phylicia Rashad just rip the bandage off a wound Malcolm was forced to hide? Drop your thoughts, theories, and all the tea in the comments. Like this video if you were shocked, betrayed, or just straight up floored by this revelation. And don't forget to subscribe, because baby, this rabbit hole is just getting deeper. The truth is finally catching up, and next time, it might be your favorite celeb on the chopping block.